My name is Paul Corrin. I am the supervisor of the All City High School Music Program. It is such a pleasure to be here to perform for you today. We have a really great concert in store for you. I cannot thank Brooklyn Tech enough for having us here, Mr. Trombetta, who arranged all this. It's so great to be here. Give him a big round of applause. So we have three different groups that are going to play for you today. You heard a little bit of the jazz band while you were walking in. They were getting their sound check in, and figured we let them play a little for you while we're getting settled on stage. But now it's time to turn it over to the conductor of the All City High School Orchestra. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. David West. Give him a round of applause, please.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everybody. Great to be here. Thank you for coming and listening today. We're going to start with a piece by Borodin, a wonderful Russian composer from the 19th century. Not on the subject of music, but in the audience. Does anybody know what an EGOT is? Raise your hand if you know what an EGOT is. I see a bunch of my singers do. That makes a lot of sense. So this is somebody who's won 4 major awards in modern pop culture history: an Emmy, a Golden Globe, an Oscar, and a Tony. And Borodin is the one person who ever won all 4 after he passed away. So he's known for writing the musical Kismet. He did not write the musical himself. The Broadway world did not exist yet. But after he passed away, all the themes that he had written were so beautiful, someone else took those melodies and created the show Kismet out of themes by Borodin. Do we have anybody in the audience who's also interested in sciences? Who's interested in the sciences? Chemistry in particular, keep your hand up if that's you. So Borodin's also really notable because he did not only do music. He was very much a professional chemist. And if anybody has anything in their life that is made of plastic, we all do at this point, we have something, a reaction that was created and discovered by Borodin that's in those plastics. So it's commonplace in everything we use and see in modern life today. So the first piece we're going to play is by him, Palavetzian Dances, from his opera Prince Igor, and we hope you enjoy it. Just to recognize a few of our soloists in that last one. Can I see Zara in the flute? Isabella on oboe. Peyton on clarinet. Helen on oboe. And Gus on French horn. But that is not all the soloists we have for you today. One of the great things we get to do in this group every year is we have a concerto cycle. Concerto when you have soloists play with the orchestra. And in this case, we audition students that are interested every year. Someone from the orchestra will get to solo with the group. This year we have 3 winners. One of them we get to feature for you today. So if you don't mind welcoming to the front of the room, Peyton's coming back to solo on the clarinet. Violin, move in, back. We need to give him more room. Yeah, back stand over. So the piece you're going to hear Peyton play for you today is the Weber Clarinet Concertino. Concertino means concerto, solo with the orchestra in kind of miniature form. So a typical concerto has 3 completely separate movements. Everyone stops, takes a breath. But in this piece, you hear all 3 sections combined into one thing that never quite stops. So you have a beautiful slow introduction, a nice kind of moving middle section, and then a very fast 6/8 section at the end. And you sound great. We can't wait to hear you. Doesn't he sound fantastic? Any clarinet players in the audience? Anybody else out there play the clarinet? No, good, great, love it. But this one of this kind of standard clarinet pieces. A lot of people that play clarinet learn this piece, and it's a wonderful joy to play. We're going to go on with our next and final piece. Raise your hand. Has anybody heard of the Planets? Yeah, this is, when it comes to orchestral music, this is one of the kind of greatest hits. Definitely makes the top 10 list. And you don't have to be an orchestral player to know this. This is movie music before movies were invented. And many movie composers of these days, John Williams and such, are inspired by this composer and this piece. So we don't have time to do all of it today, but we are going to share probably the greatest hit of all the greatest hits in the Planets, Jupiter. So we really hope you enjoy this one. We have a blast playing it. Before we get to that piece, I want to say one thing about our partnerships throughout the year that we get to have in All City. We work with the New York Philharmonic. One of the greatest orchestras in the entire world is right at home here in New York City. They play over at Lincoln Center, and we have a number of their players that come and coach with us on regular Saturday rehearsals when we meet every week. Additionally, a number of the members of the orchestra volunteer. They get volunteer opportunities to go to the New York Phil's home and help them out with their events and their young people concerts. We also partner with Bard Conservatory, the orchestra now up at Bard in Annandale on the Hudson. We have a great partnership with them. Back in December, we did a side-by-side concert with them, and this next piece that we'll play, it was featured in that concert. So the orchestra was twice as big, and we had all the players from the orchestra now with us. It was an amazing, amazing performance, and we're really glad to partner with them and Maestro Pineda over there. So with that kind of celebration of all of these partnerships, of all the great music making, we leave you with Jupiter by Gustav Holst. Everybody. To the All-City Orchestra of New York City Public Schools, everyone, thank you so much. We'll make a brief stage change and bring back more music in just a second. Get ready for the choir.
Part of the reason for this concert is to get the word out about All City. So, you know, I know there's a lot of young musicians in this room, and there is room somewhere in All City for you. All City has 7 ensembles that go between 2 boroughs at 4 different schools. We have an orchestra, as you see, a concert band, a chorus, a jazz ensemble, a Latin ensemble, a marching band, and what's called the Modern Music Project. So we have 7 different groups, something for everyone, and it's available to any high school student in New York City. We meet on Saturdays. Most of the rehearsals take place between 9 and 12:30 in the morning, so by 12:30 you're done for the day. You have the rest of your Saturday with you. Only the jazz ensemble rehearsals later in the day. We have an amazing staff. We do residencies with some of the top music organizations in the world. We have partnerships with the New York Philharmonic, as you already heard Mr. West say, with the Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra, with the Jazz and Lincoln Center Orchestra, with the New York Pops Orchestra. And we've worked with a number of different vocal groups, one of which, Songs of Solomon, whose leader sings at the Metropolitan Opera. So we have had amazing partnerships for all of our young people. And this isn't just we don't just go to hear a concert, which is nice. They come in and they bring artists and they work directly with our students 4, 5, 6 times per year, side by side with them. It's a really great experience. They're going to start taking the stage as I keep talking to you. So when you end, and I know we also have some elementary schools here, just to make sure you're aware of it, there's also a middle school version of the All City program. It has a different name. It's called Salute to Music. It used to be called Borough-wide. Names are used kind of interchangeably. So for all of the young musicians in the room, make sure that you keep playing through your time in elementary school, into middle school, and into high school, and hopefully beyond that. You know, part of what All City accomplishes, I would love to have your attention, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't help but think that if you were talking to me, I would probably be looking at you and not turned around talking to someone else. Please and thank you. Just common thank you. As I was saying, you know, part of what we love about the All City Music Program is not just that we sound good and have good experience and it's an extra place to play. We're building a community that has tentacles that go throughout New York City. So you have your band or your chorus or your ensemble in school or your orchestra that you're a part of, but now you start to meet people who love the same thing you do from across the 5 boroughs, which is easier said than done. You know, so that you build these relationships, you build partnerships with them, you wind up playing in ensembles later in your life. It could be some way that's a connection to help you get into college. I'm super happy to be able to share with you that I have 6 former students from Fort Hamilton High School who are in this room right now, all professional teachers and artists and musicians. That's, you know, what could be better than that? So we build a community of, you know, what Mr. Toro, who is our Latin ensemble principal director and also one of the ensemble directors for the jazz band. He has, I don't even know how many it is at this point, students teaching music all across Staten Island and in other boroughs also. So it's a really special thing. Once you're part of All City, you meet people all over who are in All City and have common ties. And it's just, building community is a good thing, everyone, and it's real. And we do it every Saturday, and we have a lot of fun while we're doing it. I think we're about ready. Ms. Young, we're ready to go? So I now turn it over to the fabulous All City High School Chorus under the direction of Principal Conductor, Ms. Young. Thank you.
No, maybe a little bit. Oh, here we are. First of all, thank you so much for coming out today in the rain, in the cold, to come and see us. We are so excited to perform for you. Behind me, again, is All City Chorus. Like Mr. Korn said, the ensemble started, we have a total of 7 all-city ensembles, starting all the way back in 1936 with the choir. So, you know, it's very, very dear to my heart that we have, you know, such a great group of singers. We rehearse every Saturday. We rehearse once a week. We partner, like the orchestra, with prestigious choirs around New York City, affording us opportunities to perform at places like Carnegie Hall, Met Museum every year, so on and so forth. So if you like to sing and you like to perform, we would love to have you audition with us, I believe in the end of May and June. All right, so thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the concert.
at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. You better mind how you talk. You better mind what's on your heart. 'Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. You better mind how you shout. You better mind what you shout about. 'Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. Oh, you better mind, mind. Oh, you better mind, mind. You got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. Oh, you better mind, mind. Oh, you better mind, mind. You got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. You better mind how you sing. You better mind what you sing about. 'Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. You better mind how you pray. You better mind what you're praying about. 'Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. Oh, you better mind, my brother mine. Why don't you mind, my sister mine? 'Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. Oh, you better mind, my brother mine. Why don't you mind, my sister mine? 'Cause you got to give an account at the judgment. You better mind, you better mind. You better
Can we have another round of applause, please, for the All City High School Chorus? Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. We have one more group for you today before we come to a close. I do want to thank Principal Newman at Brooklyn Tech again so much for having us in his home and opening his doors to us for the second straight year. And we just hope to be here many years to come. So please give him a round of applause. Thank you to Principal Newman. Also would like to recognize Paul Thompson, who's the Director of Arts for New York City, and Elizabeth Guglielmo, who is the Director of Music for New York City Public Schools. They are the supporters, and all things All City come through their office, and they are huge fans of our program. So please give them a round of applause also. This is entitled The Deacon. Hayden on trumpet. Give it up for Hayden on the trumpet. Titan on the piano. Dorian on the bass. Shannon on the trombone. Next up, we're going to stick with Count Basie. We're going to play one by the great Benny Carter. This is from the Kansas City Suite. It's entitled Blue Five Jive. Thank you. Yeah, Duke was funny like that. Sometimes he The fear of death and the joy of life. Thank you. Stand up, we took a solo. Pretty much the whole band is stand up. Stand up, we took a solo. Okay, thank you so much for having us. Thank you to Mr. Trombetti, who organized all this for us. Thank you, Mr. Principal Newman, for allowing us to be here today. Thank you all for coming in, for your teachers, your staff, your principals. It was not easy to organize any trip today, so thank you very much for being here. We have one last number we're going to play for you. We're going to finish up where we started with some Count Basie. This is also from the Kansas City Suite, and it's called Jackson County Jubilee. Leon on the drums. Can we ask all the performers to please stand up? Can we ask all the performers to please stand up? All the performers. Congratulations again. The orchestra, the choir, and the jazz ensemble. Thank you all so much. You're a great audience. We really appreciate you. Great job from all the students. And we'll see you all on Saturday, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you all. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much.